Cologne European offline qualifiers.
And I'm really excited to see what Penta can achieve here. It's such a tough task as well. When you see the first games of your group and you have KINGUIN up against you, it's daunting. I want to see them come off to a good start, but look at this double stack on short. 3 players in lower B tiles. This could be huge. And already Dennis looking close towards those double doors.
Yeah, and Rain's nade is going to be able to...
my guy's
a double nade! Oh, it doesn't do any damage!
Too deep.
Penta going to be very happy with that one as they laugh it off. Crystal finds Dennis in mid, and now Makalele, he needs to hold steady because that looks like a big rotation.
And they're already pushing long. They've taken over control here. They've pulled the CTs towards short, and they're going to try and exploit long. But how can they cross here? They've got a smoke and a couple of flashes to allow for some utility in this one. But this is going to be dangerous. Scream's going straight in.
Scream, this is a massive risk, just a P2K in his hands, and he's not going to find anything as of yet, nor is Rain. Finally, Scream does connect into the brain of Crispy, and we find ourselves in a 4 versus 3. Numbers do favour the terrorists, but they're the ones that have to get the bomb down, and Makalele through the smoke does find Crystal. Oh, Rain,
Jesus.
What? Good job you weren't casting that, otherwise Kelly would have been screamed at the top of your lungs, and now Tabson has to find something. Foxman and Makalele. I just called him Foxman. Damn you and that name. And now Tabson trying to hunt for something, but Fox finds it. And KINGUIN level it out with a retake and find the first.
Sadly, that A play just seemed to perish on the cross. That smoke allowed them to kind of make these plays. It just wasn't quite covering the close, so they could almost see through it. The pop flash allowing Scream, the man, just being beautifully panned past there. Pushed through, saw how many, and they knew what was up. Now, let's look at what we've got here. Actually, tell a lie. 3 Famouses coming in, 1 Scout, a P90, and on the other side, 1 Tech 9, a couple of P250s, and a Scout for Crystal. So, this time, a little different. Makalele and Rain pushing up on long rather than the double stack on towards short, which was, I think, Scream and Makalele, considering Scream normally plays towards that B site a little unorthodox, but Scream still finds kills, no surprise there.
Yeah, and he's probably going to find more, actually, as he just narrowly missed out there. He's going to get pushed down by Stavros. Nice kind of team communication there from Penta, as they already taken down that threat in mid. Forces KINGUIN to shape some sort of adaptation, and Penta as well here, though.
They actually could do really nicely here. Dennis is flashed. They could really force this. If Strux maybe can get through towards B tunnels, or they could slow down Dennis. I'm hoping they have faith in this B play almost, because they're starting to look towards A. Oh, if only they knew.
It's still a battle for intel.
And they still have Tabson with a smoke, so he can still do something with this. Here we go, Stavros, Crispy, and Tabson all looking through, but it's Dennis, goes down. This game is now over, but the P90 from Fox comes in, rips him up, and now Strux, the last man standing 1v3. That was so close to almost working out.
Yeah, Strux is going to be struggling to do much here. I mean, what, 30 seconds, 3 players to find, and just an armor and a tech 9. Probably just looking to retrieve a weapon and get the hell out of dodge.
Don't know.
Rain. Might be able to take one with him. It's going to be Fox, and it's not going to happen. The P90, that's 3 for Fox in that round with the P90. A worthwhile investment, 2.3k spent well, as KINGUIN do secure the second.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a landslide once they actually started to make it through those doors in mid, and you know, even though Dennis did get for 1-for-1, Fox, of course, just being able to isolate those players pushing through was actually quite important. I'm surprised Strux didn't maybe make it out at the same time, trying, you know, make the play together so Fox couldn't focus one out. But now looking at the CT side, this is the cleanest you're going to get an eco these days, it seems, with 1 P250. But Stavros shows you how it's done.
That was it. That's the P250 turning up. Well, you know, justifying that dollar investment. And now, what Scream got here again around middle. He's being a bit of a ever-present here, and he's going to find another one. It's Crystal to go down. Not going to fall for the same games as the round prior, as he knows he's going to get pushed. Avoids the flash. This could be beautiful, and it is. Could have been 3. Just takes the 2, and now all onto Tabson, who's going to steal that FAMAS and look to maybe make a dent in KINGUIN.
This is actually quite dangerous. Makalele and Fox are at B. Only Dennis toward A. Dennis is half HP. If he could maybe smoke down a little, allow him to cross, or is he going to fake it out? Let's see what he does here. He's got a minute to work with. This is still very possible, bearing in mind.
Yeah, no armor. Doesn't make it easy, and he's actually going to drop down as a CT catches one by surprise. Makalele had his pants around his ankles and a smoke in his hand. And Tabson, being very economical, even picks up the 5-7. As now 2 KINGUIN members do remain. He's getting tickled down to death, and it's going to be Fox again with the P90, making the weapon his own. And these rounds are certainly a lot closer than KINGUIN would have liked.
I'm getting a little scared when they're peeking 1 by 1 like this as well. Fox just starting to, you know, toy with him a little bit, like, yeah, all right, I'll peek out. Dennis was like sitting back on the side, like, chill him out, you know? But I get a little nervous when I see that. But then again, Fox is on 5 kills to 0 deaths, so who am I to judge? But Crystal with a great long spawn here. I wonder if he's going to go for the cheeky shot on toward it. Doesn't see anything. Molly not too deep. Oh, he spots two on the cross, but didn't get either of them. I'm pretty sure he saw both of those players cross then. So Dennis and Rain, both positions now know.
Yeah, he was fully flash and just narrowly missed the toes of the KINGUIN members. So Crystal with the AWP is always a presence, and Makalele's the one picking it up on the CT side for now. Smoke's coming out to Xbox.
But the thing that worries me, there's no one playing those B tunnels, no one to keep that KINGUIN side humble on B. Fox and Scream can start like pestering. They know in those first early rounds how much Penta like to push those lowers. This could get dangerous.
Oh, and Strux is actually about to walk on into them. You can see coming through lowers, and Scream spanks him back down, puts him in his place. And now Penta realizing that there's a whole lot of intel. Oh, and they're going to wrap around. This is smart. They're going to be able to catch the two rotating B players. Very, very white. Scream going to try and do something. Stavros with one.
Oh.
Scream going to be just defending this site with his heart. Doesn't find the third. And we find ourselves in a 3 versus 2. KINGUIN have the numbers, but hell, the bomb's down. And now Tabson and Crispy prepare themselves to defend this retake. Don't know if that's a wise positioning, and the flash is going to make it difficult for Tabson to get away. Probably going to opt back for the rifle for the retake.
Crispy's in a good spot, though, to a degree. He's going to be playing this one smart, but here we go. Tabson gets the tag. Oh, what? Dennis just flies in, and Makalele with a kill towards Crispy. But credit to Scream, that second kill he got out of the 3, bearing in mind so much precision and control. He made sure he didn't waste his bullets with that silenced M4.
Did he lose his rifle there? I think he picked up the AWP and then just the rifle evaporated. So he was like, right, no scopes it is. Doesn't work out, though. And that's going to be 4-0 and a vital round for KINGUIN.
I get worried, though, when I see Makalele, like, moving things around the desk. Like, you know, he gets a little nervous about chairs.
Everybody
he might start, like,
does
squatting
that. Like,
a little
I'm
bit.
2 centimeters too high.
Did you see him on DreamHack last? I think it was DreamHack. He was just like squatting. He took away the chair and just had a little, you know, sit down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back into the round. 4 players this time in B tunnel, seemingly learning their lesson. But yeah, this is an interesting bit of play. Penta has been keeping these rounds close.
Yeah, but that's not enough. And Penta, a team who are no stranger to keeping it close. I mean, a 16-14 result against Hellraisers online was as close as they got, really, to besting that team. And looks like it's going to be another 1-for-1. Tabson the one to draw first blood, though. And Scream is doing a fantastic job of keeping Penta humble in mid. But Fox turns up from CT. Now the 3 Ts remaining are going to try and make an offensive on towards B, and that's a start. But every single frag that they are picking up is traded out, and that's KINGUIN doing enough to keep them busy.
Crystal.
Nice play from Crystal, 2 with the Galil. And now Makalele's actually made good groundwork. He's going to be able to surprise them potentially from tunnels.
And it's a player like Makalele who can do these sort of situations. But Crystal pushes close. Makalele doesn't get the first shot. And Stavros will close him down. And Penta just about picking that one up.
Yeah, 2 each. Crystal and Stavros picking up the frags there. I mean, you know, even with the Galil, he doesn't need an AWP. He still has an impact into this round. And now, it looks like the economy of KINGUIN is going to be very damn forcey. A CZ for Scream and a Mag 7 for Makalele.
And for me, it was all about that admirable play coming out from Crystal towards those mid doors. He was holding them up so well, and he played such an imperative role towards this. But now looking at it, a bit of a unique bite. Tabson, obviously just a P250, but all the utility in the world. Maybe expecting to be able to pick up something off his other teammates.
Yeah, so the 2 Molotovs as well. Not sure if that's too much of an indication of where they're going. But again, KINGUIN playing for the intel. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen,
this is nice,
Fox and Scream gathering information. Strux is actually prepared for this. It was the call they made, because of course Strux did push up the stairs just around prior, and he might catch a glimpse. He did. He's going to be able to make the call to his teammate. Stavros is going to swing around and ready himself for the KINGUIN presence. That's going to be big. Takes Scream down, but Fox did catch Strux, so he knows where the intel came from. But he did pay a heavy price, 19 points of health, and still Penta not committing towards a site. Looks like they might be leaning, towards that short site, but can't make that call just yet.
No, and they've been holding long fairly passively, but keeping control of it, keeping Rain back. But he only has that Mag 7, so he can't do much. Excuse me, tell a lie. He switched up, I think, Makalele now, picking up the Mag 7 itself. And Rain sitting with just the Famous there. But they're working towards short. They have some control here, but Makalele can do damage. You can jump and shoot with this thing. And I think they know that now, and they're a little bit more cautious. And a little bit more scared. And there's Dennis. Could be pressured down here. Such an awkward position to play, but you do get the opportunities, but they don't seem to be landing this. Bearing in mind, Rain is still along, and Crispy finally comes into the action. Stavros finds Makalele, but they know Dennis is here. Surely they expect it.
Oh my god, he challenged him. Foolish maneuver, but Crispy there does trade it out.
Off.
And Fox is having absolutely none of that. The one frag he did find was, of course, on Strux way back at the start of the round over towards B. So that's going to be number 2 then for Penta. And that heavy force from KINGUIN didn't quite pay off as well as it could have.
And to be fair, they had 3 players in the right place then, in my mind at least. Yeah. But Rain was almost negated from that. Crispy was so slow, so patient, so cautious. He took his time, you know, coming back through those long double doors and was able to catch out Rain.
Yeah, Crispy actually was really kind of sly with that one. Hang on. Do you think he saw someone? No.
Definitely not.
What am I doing?
Fox is in their spawn, basically.
Just shooting at feet, shooting at containers. But yeah, so the point I was making was that he was so patient by it, by the time he actually got to long, the rotate was coming in from the CT in long. So like that was incredible patience from Crispy. He spent the majority of the round staring at a door, but it did pay off.
The dream.
The dream. This is the true CS dream. Just going to be Fox then who has managed to maintain his weapon, and this should be Penta's third.
I want to see if they keep Fox in the same place they are. They've gone for the boost on towards short. A couple of pistols, nothing much. Then again, Rain did used to have some fantastic stats with the pistol actually back in the day.
When he was with LGB?
Yeah, so did the whole team.
That's going to say, yeah, those guys are pretty kind of pistol masters.
Especially on Cash, it always impressed me. But double molly through those double doors, double everything through the doors in mid, and you can see Scream just playing close with Fox there, and they can do a nice little bit of duo work if needed. But Penta being cautious here, and they need to be. They cannot take these corners lightly, and there's Rain doing what he does best with those USPSs, taking the head off Tabson.
Savros is going to return the fire, though, onto Fox.
That's
so that's the, well, it should have been the gun. Rain's actually got it. Snatched it away from his cold, dead hands, and I think it was given out a bit earlier on. But Makalady again with the USP. How is this working for KINGUIN? They've now got 3 rifles, and Penta, they've made this round a whole lot more difficult than it needs to be. Bomb on the way towards B, but Scream's just on the outskirts.
KINGUIN have been playing these close angles, allowing them to pick up the guns as soon as they drop. It's so smart, and Scream not challenging straight away. Spots out Strux. And there we go, sees him again. He might need to call for cavalry soon. Makalele, Dennis, and Rain all over by A. He needs to stay alive a little longer and see if they can play for retakes. But the problem is they have no utility, no flashes, no armor. They would just have to go in here.
Yeah, and there's 2 players wrapping around from KINGUIN behind. You can see Dennis just with that P250 could be able to make an impact, and he does! Good God! Crispy goes down, and now Strux trying to claw this one back for his team. They're being made to work super damn hard. Crystal with the AWP now has to do everything with 21 points of health. Hell, he's outfound 2 finds 3. Crystal spanks KINGUIN down, but good God, was that not easy. 4-3 the score, and it all came down to one man. They only had 1 rifle at the start of that, Lauren.
My God, so Rain picked one up after his USPS kill. Then Scream picked up the one that Fox dropped. And I think it was Makalele just found one en route, maybe through B tunnels, I'm not too sure. But Crystal, what a man to step up in those moments. And you need someone that experienced. Crystal is one of these kind of more veteran players, and thank God he was able to hit those shots for his side. Definitely well and truly needed. But this is a good performance thus far from Penta, but let's remind yourself, you probably don't want to be just straight up challenging Scream to an Angel. Yeah, and I was going to say, talking of Scream's presence on B, he started the first couple of rounds over towards mid, and now Dennis has kind of taken that from him, playing it very passively towards CT. It seems to be something he prefers. Rain this time has pushed up on towards long, and hoping to catch out the Penta long play, but we know how Crispy likes to play it, super damn passive. And Rain's actually repositioning himself. He could catch them off guard here. 3 versus 1 if they do choose to push out. Penta have the bomb there, and Strux is holding the back in low. It's going to start throwing out mollies. Actually, that's incredible. They threw out the molly where Rain just was. Really smart play there. And they've got the utility and the money to be able to do that. So let's see if they can actually predict where he is. There's a great flash that you can put down from long that could really negate Rain's position, but he's not been flashed here. Again, has the opportunity. Tag comes in, position known, but still holds his own with that M4. And there's 2 players on long still, but Tabson's having none of it. He's backing out. Crystal can possibly make the peak here, but Dennis is on long as well. It's a risky move, but looks like the T-side are keeping their options open.
Yeah, 18 seconds though, and I think that's probably going to be the save.
Should be.
I mean, that's the slowest we've seen Penta approach this T-side round, and it's really not worked out for them because of Rain's kind of stalwart sentinel as he just holds long. Very, very solid from him. And, you know, it just does feel like Penta, they'll take it in turns to challenge different entrances into the bomb sites. And every single one, we've seen, you know, Makalele's USP, we've seen Rain holding long. And Makalele is a real character for the CS scene. 5-3, though, the score. And it looks like Crystal and the gang are going to try and do their best to put as many weapons and utility in their teammates' hands.
And look at the difference of attitude. You look at Makalele high-fiving himself, because, you know, no one else will. And there's Crystal, like, just steel focus. Yeah. But I think Fox actually got tagged then, so this is actually a really good start coming out. And I'm not sure if they're aware of it, and why would you be? Makalele just catching Crispy off guard, and Dennis pushing really close.
Crispy, the one damn time he tries to push like aggressively long, and he gets put in his place. I think that's going to be a real tough one for him to swallow.
This is dangerous.
Nice though from Crystal, takes down Scream, and so 4v4, Dennis.
Dennis is dying to get out here.
He was so kind of itching to push through the doors, and he could have caught Penta out, but no. not going to be happening just yet. And so the 3-1 split for the T's continues. Dennis, he's so cautiously wanting to push this one. He knows it's an AWP, but I would not want to challenge Crystal, that's for certain.
Not right now, anyway. His confidence is going to be sky high. And Dennis reading this well. He's going to just see that smoke, back away from it, maybe tell Makaleli or Rain to keep your eyes on that push through quite possibly, and he'll turn his attention to B for a second. Now he pushes a little closer towards Fox just to support, as Fox was taken down pretty low at the start of this round. But now that smoke's dissipated, options are open again for Penta, but 35 seconds now.
So they kind of must have an idea of at least where Rain is going to be. Fox, of course, they caught on the cross towards B. They're piecing this one together. There's Crystal going to be hunting for a pick, and the flash is actually going to catch him. That's a little bit out of sync then. As Makaleli readies himself for this push, he's going to start catching glimpses of one. It's going to be Crystal or the M4, and looks like Makaleli's going to get away with his life for now. Flash comes in to support, and KINGUIN ready to stop this one, but Tabson's pushed up a little further than he anticipated. Bomb's going down thanks to Struts just with 7 seconds remaining, and a nice pick up there from Tabson to leave Fox with it all to do. He's only got half health right from the start. And the 3 Penta players are not going to let this bomb site slip away.
No, I believe it's planted for sure as well, so it's going to be extra difficult. But Fox fancying his chances here. There is still Strux laying in wait not too far away. Oh, and it's going to be Strux to peek out at the right time then. Bearing in mind they did have Crystal further back as well in case it was required. But let's take stock of that scoreline. It's 5-4. Penta are keeping close. Now, of course, if you look at this map overall, there's certain side bias. However, look at these two teams. It's KINGUIN. This team was able, to take down Virtus.pro, to challenge Na'Vi on certain maps. That's a massive team to be playing against. Penta have got to be pleased with this result so far, but this is a dangerous round, and look at this push.
Oh, they're going to get away with it. There's 2 or 3 men pushing it, and I'm not sure they're going to be ready for it, but hell, Crystal is. Tabson's there as well. That's going to be 2, make 3, as he is just too darn quick. Now Scream and Dennis with it all to do, and CZ and 5-7 between them. And Penta are just going to hit the slowdown button, because there's absolutely no need to take a risk. They can just pick this up slowly, steadily, and use those smokes to their disposal. Scream's just going to be sitting in that aforementioned smoke, and I think Stavros is kind of aware he's ready and finds it. So Dennis then, 1 versus 5 and a 5-7, Lauren.
But the one thing I want to point out about that, I was looking at the mini-map when that was unfolding, so I knew it was Scream still alive and Dennis. And you saw how cautiously Penta were approaching B, because Scream has been consistently playing toward that site with Fox. So maybe, they're really keeping a tab on where from, players in KINGUIN are playing at which point. And then as soon as Scream went down in mid, it was like, all right, let's go. We know there's no one else here, right?
That was it. That was the click.
And it's either Penta putting in individual work into watching these demos back, which is quite likely as well, or they're just being very, very aware of where these players are. Just nice knowledge. And Dennis, in a little bit of an awkward predicament here, just kind of surrounded by players.
Rock and hard place. Yeah, I think is a good one. As looks like he's just going to be toying with this.
If Stavros misses shots, it makes me a little nervous, though. You've got to still believe maybe there's a chance Dennis could have gotten a kill then, but not going to get the round at this point.
Yeah, and one of the points Penta made early on, how we highlighted their performance in the Pro League? We said they went 2 wins, 20 losses. We had a discussion with them before them turning up to the qualifier, and they said, yeah, we were a new team. We were kind of still forming as a team, and the same has been said for KINGUIN. They had that warm-up phase 2 where they were just kind of getting comfortable, mixing things around. Of course, the roster's just steadying as well with Dennis.
Well, this is
losing out on Huiten, and now Tabson walking out into long. God, very, very different to what we've seen previously with Crispy just holding at the back. And this is something a bit different from Penta.
And they're starting to get really nice map control here. With Tabson now down in pit, they know that long is theirs, so they can assume, okay, Rain's going to have to be pushed back, either to car, maybe that A ramp. But that's just keeping the players locked into place. Now, Makaleli's going to try and regain some control on towards short. So maybe peek down, see if there's anyone by the stairs, anything a little closer, and just try and make sure they keep hold of this map in general. Because the T-side are just kind of taking their time, looking around, finding an option. Because if the T-side take over short as well, which would be super impressive, they basically have A pushed all the way back. But then again, there's still Scream and Fox completely free in this situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much leeway they're going to be given. As that stack on short, there's going to be a lot of information gathered, because they can start maybe pushing towards catwalk, seeing that it's empty, seeing that mid and maybe lower B is quiet. And they're going to start maybe doing the maths and working out that actually Strux is trying to fake this out. This is very nice. Throwing out the Molotov. He's going to keep 2 players of the 5 there. And that's going to be Emily forcing away Rain. Scream's going to find one, though, over on towards B. And Rain makes it rain. Frags picks it up 3. And there's a storm coming. 6-5 as we do go into the
Was
12th
one
round.
pun not enough? You had to go for two? You're an animal.
I don't know if he's going to do anything again. I had to throw a couple in there.
Make the most of it while you
There's
can.
a lot to come.
You're a disaster.
I'm a horrible human being. I am.
Well, when it rains, it pours, eh? But there we go. Let's see the scoreline 6-5 now. Penta keeping this one close. But that round should have been more. But then again, this is the thing with KINGUIN. Even if the odds are stacked against them, they can still have that individual flair, that brilliance, that fire that just throws them back into it. But there's tabseN just clearing out short. So it looks like they seem to take over control of one perfectly on one round and then the other way around on the next. So short's their initial focus now, but Makalele and Dennis very close to watching this.
Yeah, I think they've already kind of worked it out. Makalele previously holding it very close, this time backing away down towards, I was going to say long, he's actually changed his mind back on towards sight. 4 of the 5 members, just Crispy who's going to do that slow long play as well, but let's see what Makalele's got for us here. Oh, they're not facing him! Neither of them checking that corner, and for some reason he doesn't manage to find just the second. Rain fortunately picked up Stavros. In the meantime, Strux in quick response though as we go back and forth.
3v1 on the side.
Crystal doing that close quarters work. In fact, I'll tell a lie, it was Crispy from a distance. Bomb does go in though, and so a relatively successful push from Penta. It cost them a whole lot, but same for KINGUIN, as Crispy should be able to catch Scream out here. Does so. And now Fox putting his P90 to rest this time and is going to be looking for the 1 versus 2.
Oh, he's seen it. Crystal saw
I
him.
don't think Crystal's going to be falling for these games, just trying to play the waiting game. Did he drop down? I think he caught on a glimpse. No, still hanging out towards short. Time is of the essence, though, and I think Crystal has got this one in the bag. He most definitely does. And that's going to be 2 for him, 2 for Crispy, and another successful round for Penta. Back and forth we go, Lauren.
6.
Yeah.
We got a good game, Alex.
Hey, we said it could have been. We said it depends what Penta bring. It depends where KINGUIN are. And I mean, you have to remember, Penta beat these guys last time they met. It was a 2-0, but it was online, and that was the main point we made.
Yeah, it was a very. It seemed like a very different team when we looked at KINGUIN. Then they're, you know, a little hap-handed.
We looked at their game against Virtus Pro on the same map, and they were playing everything
night and day, night and day. But let's look at this round as KINGUIN last time. We've seen they can do damage with these pistols, and of course, it's rain again. Do you want to make any puns, or are we good?
I think I'm okay for now.
All right, we'll come back to that in a second. As Strux does get taken down to at least 10 HP there, which could have been a lot of money wasted if he went down. And Rain does get himself an AK, but this time the T side just kind of being a little bit calmer about this one. And Fox could just catch off Stavros as well. And actually Stavros will lock him down and keep this one in tow. But these two are very low. Stavros, 9 HP, Strux on 10. They really need to be careful here.
Yeah, against
Oh
pistols
God, Rain's on the side of
especially.
that smoke.
I think tabseN should be able to catch a glimpse of him. He does. Easy peasy.
Oh, that was very easy.
Pick it up on towards Rain, and now Dennis, just with a P250 and a Dream. I mean, they are low health. He could probably do something, make a dent in towards these attackers, especially because they are starting to orientate themselves towards A, and that smoke's going to be just the indicator he needed. But Stavros is probably going to be able to catch him in the heels here. Beautiful from Stavros, as he's just kind of the caretaker, picking it up their mess, and it's going to be 7-6.
It's impressive they were able to keep those 2 players alive for me. The fact that they were down on almost under 10 HP, both of them stayed alive. No one else, made these sloppy, silly mistakes. It was all very focused, calm, collected play. And Penta are looking good. Yes, they're on the T side. Okay, there's we don't need to remind you of that, but it's KINGUIN. That's where the difference changes. And Strux this time picking up the AWP, maybe having the better spawn than Crystal. Might be switched around afterwards. But no, I think Strux is sticking with it for a little while at least. And we will be seeing the 4 remaining players of the T side having to work something into this. Crystal has been gifted back the AWP, so it's just that trying to get the pick off spawn down toward long.
Yeah, and we talk of Strux, he's actually sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard we did just see there, and I mean, just picking up 5 frags in the kind of, what's it been now, 13 rounds, maths is difficult. That little pause was a little awkward, I apologise, as the cogs start turning.
6, 7, 8, 9,
yeah,
10.
6.
Especially when it says like round 14 on the top there.
Just
you could have,
-1, that's how I've got to set it up, yeah. Anyway.
Never do
that's a different smoke. They look like they're going to do a double smoke. That's going to give them a whole lot of freedom in mid if they choose to push. And there's a lot of screaming coming
Killerfish, I believe.
from Killerfish. Things may be going their way. We'll be sure to check up on that one. Do be sure to check out that second stream as well.
Yeah, they're up against flip side, I believe, so that's quite tough.
Either way, Dennis finds Crispy, and now they're starting to drop. Penta just have 2 men left against the 4 KINGUIN defense. The bomb is towards B, as is Crystal with that AWP, so never doubt this man. But Scream actually playing it very passive, waiting for the flash. That's solid team play, and they're going to be able to mop it up with 2 headshots as well. 70% headshot ratio average for Scream. He is an insane individual when it does come to picking up those headshots, and we are just going to get an update on that score from the flip side game as well.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we don't need to even remind people how insane that KINGUIN team is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
How, like, pick one of the players who's weak in their role. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you've got Dennis. Sure, he's maybe not like the top fragger, but this guy is like a premium in-game leader. People were expecting him to join a much bigger team than you know, where he ended up when the shuffle kind of went down. So this whole team, this whole collective is phenomenal at their job, and seeing it 7-7 is only credit to Penta.
Yeah, for certain. I mean, they have managed to settle it. It makes such a difference when a team is comfortable. That's the big point, is that when they are a very, very comfortable team, once they're aware of each individual's kind of capabilities, where they want to play, that's when things start lining up. And it has worked for KINGUIN, and it seems to be working for Penta as well. 2 lineups, relatively fresh lineups, and they are starting to hit their stride. Makalele is not gonna, oh, I tell a lie! Plays it perfectly, catches Crystal's shoulder, and Crystal's gonna be kicking himself, as it looks like Tabson has kind of picked up the mantle and has the AWP in hand.
How the hell did Makalele get away with that? It's ridiculous stuff like this that only Makalele can do. Like this crazy AWPing style, right? You get Fox, who's like pretty impressive, he's pretty explosive, and then Makalele, just like that extra step. But still, Makalele now backing away, keeping it calm. And the thing that I was smiling about that you probably noticed is the fact that Killerfish are only 1 round ahead of Flipside. So all that noise was like,
are you serious?
Pissed around.
No, they got 2 now.
They've got 2 now.
Okay.
They've got 2. But yeah, back into this one. See what Tabson can do here. He definitely needs a little bit more of an impact in this, into this round at least.
Yeah, for sure. Makalele's going to make it difficult. That's his 2nd of the round already. Scream continuing to rain down frags as he finds a 2nd. Good God, this is a 3rd.
Beautiful.
3 headshots, 3 frags, 3 seconds. 8-7 then going to be the score at the half, and just a narrow little lead for KINGUIN. The 1 round as we do go into our 2nd half of this best of 1. It's the 1st round for these teams in Group A.
Can someone just do me a favor though and just make a frag movie of Scream just in that position behind the big box on the side, just watching the window pouring through.
Sometimes
it was like 2 rounds in this game alone. He's done beautiful stuff in 1 clip as well.
It's like he has X-ray on. It really is. He just seems to know where he needs to be holding that aim.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The controls just something to marvel at between these 2.
And what's interesting about Scream's play is he gets given that position a lot. He gets given that kind of B, they're all going to come at once position. Especially, think about Cash. He has the B hold there as well. And he deals with it so well. He just knows when he needs to peek, knows when he shouldn't. And we'll see how things translate into that T half. Still, though, an 8-7 half, solid from Penta. And KINGUIN, the favourites, are going to have to work as hard as they can to pick up the win here.
I want to see Penta get this one close again, though. I want to see this constantly challenged from Penta. Good information gathered from Crispy there, obviously on the CT side now. And KINGUIN on the T side.
That was a full 5 flash, and it was pretty damn a full flash for all 5 of them. That sounded like a repetition, I promise it wasn't. And KINGUIN have managed to get 4 of the 5 members on the site. This is insane, and it looks like Penta are going to be playing for the retake. Throwing out a couple of nades, just going to tickle Scream with that one as the bomb goes in. The bomb is going to be under threat, though, as still 5 Penta members remain. And they are still on the rotate, starting to stack up. Let's see, 3 of them coming from short. Tabson kind of leading that push. And time's going to be of the essence for them now.
Certainly will be. Let's see if they can do anything with this. Let's have a little peek across, as it looks like the CT side is holding very well. And there we go. Closed down by Crispy coming around the back then. And a little sloppy from KINGUIN almost.
I mean, 5 players up, solid control of the site. They just managed to construct a real nice retake from Penta, and respect to them because they had a game plan and they stuck to it. Really, really impressive. As that's going to put 8 then, and the 1st round on the CT side in the hands of Penta. Where do KINGUIN go with this? We've seen them do some crazy force buys. It's not going to happen this time, fortunately. They're not going to, go for their ridiculous buys. And we're just going to see the 1 Tech 9, a couple of P250s, and they're going to try and make an impact on towards this middle area. Going through lowers, we'll see what they have up their sleeves. No nades whatsoever, so I'm really not sure what they've got up their sleeves.
Taking the Crispy though did just peek and see about 3 players crossing towards short. So I can imagine Crystal's going to be told to be a little cautious there with that scout. There's not much you can do when they come flooding through like this, and they're going to do just that. So Rain gets taken down to 4 HP. Nice work from Crystal, finding Rain again. I don't know if he even meant that, but he did take out Fox as well, if I'm not mistaken. But bombs being planted for short. And considering they had no armor and a couple of P250s to take 9, a bomb plant's not a bad way to start this.
I guess Penta's kind of felt that they played for the retake and it worked well. Let's try it again. It does, though, gift them the plan, which is the point you've already made, that that's not ideal, I guess, but either way, Scream's going to be the last one standing, and Stavros does dispatch of him with a USP. Pistol v pistol. to put 9 then on the board for Penta. Didn't lose a man, didn't lose a rifle, and all is good in the Penta camp as we go into the third.
Yeah, Penta need to keep this up, though. They can't allow this to even stop for a second. And let's just go pick up the AWP for the T side as well. It's either good. Fox does occasionally work with it, but we know Makalele likes to pick it up when he gets the opportunity.
The opportunity, and you set me up for that one.
I didn't set you up for anything.
Completely you, yep. But either way, did catch a glimpse of 2 people on the cross, and call is going to be made to his teammates, Dennis and Scream, as they are set up over on towards that B side. Oh, that nade does a huge chunk of damage. Scream down to 6 as he's sticking with the MP7, looking to add, you know, some $600 to his bankroll. Not going to be happening just yet, though. And that B side is heavily hit. Dennis to 20, Scream to 6, and even Makalele, the AWP, only has 62 points of health remaining. But that bomb's towards long.
And looking at this play, no one's watching mid, really. Okay, Strux is kind of hopping across. This is a beautiful little spot from Tabson there. I love this sort of angle. It's so good. But then again, Fox just lands those shots. That's absolutely disastrous. But as you've just pointed out, the HP is so low. Dennis down to 20. Scream 6, Fox 19, Makalele 62, okay, and Rain sitting pretty, but now they're starting to take their time here, KINGUIN. They're looking towards mid a little, and there's hardly anyone on this A site for the CT side. This is a disaster unless Crisby can do something phenomenal here.
Yeah, he should be ready. Red gets 1. He could be trying to connect the spray in there low enough that they could quite work. Backs away to safety. He is so lucky to be alive and untouched as well.
If only KINGUIN knew what we knew here. There's no one on the A side. They have the free walk up on short. And now they're like, okay, maybe we should look towards this. Let's check out if anyone's there. And now they're going for it.
Where are these Penta players? They're starting maybe to get the hint. They do. Finally, Strux and Crystal on the rotate, but they're going to stroll in and be like, I guess we can plant. Let's do it. Crispy going to be waiting, playing the waiting game for his teammates, but he's going to realize that...
Timer.
Wow, 35 seconds for everything to be done. And they've succeeded in retaking pistols. I'm not sure this is going to be as easy as the rifles are there for KINGUIN, holding nice angles, but they do have limited health. But that's not going to stop Dennis and Makalele picking up 1 apiece. Scream is there as well. They're just taking it in turns this time to pick up frags, and now Strux with an MP7 is going to be white out as well. 8-9.
That could have gone so different. I'm still interested as to why Penta didn't even think about rotating a player. Sure, okay, Makalele was watching that cross with the AWP, but of course he didn't know that. And if only things had gone slightly different there, it could have been, you know, if they could have seen that mini-map for a second, both teams were like, oh my god, what are we doing? But still, now the CT side, not great money there, so we've got the CZs, P250s, and a Deagle for Stavros. Gonna have to just try and guess it right pretty much at this point, and bearing in mind the amount of utility that KINGUIN have, down to mollies, smokes, flashes, they should be able to just forge something out of this, and we know these guys can connect the shots, they don't need help.
Yeah, for sure. It's just going to come down to Penta making a dent. And I think they're probably going to be gathering some intel from this stack towards mid. Not sure how much though once that smoke does clear. And oh, Stavros doesn't get a chance as Makalele does find him, and KINGUIN are just going to stroll into the site and make it their own. Crystal might have something to say with the P2K, but Rain does silence him. And so the 3 pistols for Penta are going to try and push through. He's completely flashing. Oh god, so are they. This is big. He's going to get 2. Strux just walked into the site. CZ, no, limited clip. He doesn't care. And now they picked up 3 frags. Scream and Fox trying to go into damage control. And I can even hear a defuse coming in, but Scream is going to hear the same.
1 HP.
This is still doable for Crispy, and hell, he's found Scream. Now Fox and Crispy 1v1. Whew, an exhale of relief for Fox as he secures that one. But I said make a dent. They made more than that.
And they just left a crater there. 10-9 though. KINGUIN picking up some control. But now we're going to see pretty much a buy against a buy. May not be full and perfect. Tabson not on the ideal point, I can imagine, but still, they've got enough of what they need to make this one work. And for both sides, I don't know who's going to walk away with this one now. This is going to be so defining, though.
Yeah, this is a very, very defining round. Crystal and Makalele are going to be the players with the AWP in hand. We haven't seen too much from Fox. I think he's sticking to that rifle role, and that's what Makalele said when we did talk to him, that he is going to be taking it more and more. Now, looks like the Penta side not going to fall for the same mistake of kind of overstacking B. It probably could have worked out quite nicely for them here as they do try and gather some intel. Dennis punishes them for that. Penta getting a little bit kind of ants in their pants, and it's cost them. Scream did find one as well, so it gives the 3 CTs time to rotate, but it's going to be very awkward for them to do so. Crispy trying to go through lowest, but the molly makes it difficult, and KINGUIN are maneuvering that bomb into the site.
Yeah, Rain's watching lower. Makalele and Fox in toward the site itself. Scream in toward tunnel, And bomb will be going down. KINGUIN taking some firm control here, but tabseN's gone the long way around, but Scream possibly will maybe hear him before anyone else sees it, and Rain can easily get the kill. But outside of that, Crystal and Crispy, as you can see on the X-ray, not really all that close.
Yeah, I think they've kind of decided, made their decision about this round. Rain, takes it away from Crispy. That should have been his. He had the drop on him to an extent anyway. It's just going to be tabseN and Crystal holding onto their weapons. Crystal's just sticking around at A as well, trying to get a couple of exits. And I think tabseN could be able to do it here. This is going to be one, make two, as that's going to be two very nice frags and an AWP for him. He may even find the third here. Fox is foolish, and he is. What walks into the crosshair, but tabseN can't pull the trigger. And he manages to retrieve that AWP for his team. Even in exits, they are starting to struggle. 11-9. And Penta clutching on to that kind of strong start we saw from them on the T side. Crystal does have the AWP, but that's pretty much all they have.
And to be fair, the raw aim power you get with KINGUIN on their T side is so hard to overcome. But then again, you've got Crystal in the right place for once with that AWP. Sure, the rest of his team only have pistols, but he can do some damage like that. Takes down Scream. Gonna get put toward the site. Just at a different angle now. Smoke gonna come out. Doesn't really matter too much. He can just about see above it. Makes the shot, and Dennis does make it toward pit. And now KINGUIN are actually still committing towards long here.
Yeah, and actually tabseN's was trying to hold a nice angle with that boost through the smoke. It looks like KINGUIN are committing towards long. They do kind of, I mean, they're well aware of Crystal with the AWP. That would suggest that it's probably not the wisest maneuver, but then again, they're also aware of the state of the economy.
Crystal and Crispy are actually starting to hunt out a little bit. Crispy's kind of like trying to bait himself almost. He's trying to be, you know, that tasty morsel of bait and allow Crystal to kind of snap those jaws down. But it does still seem like an A play coming through, and Crystal could still do some serious damage here.
I kind of like where he's positioning himself because he doesn't want to get caught out on the site. And it does enable him to hold mid in the flick of a wrist. Not going to find anything though as the smokes do come in, and they're going to enable them to come cross almost unscathed. Rain has the bomb, doesn't have a lot of health, but that's not going to stop him putting the bomb down. And now tabseN with just a P250. He does have ears on that plant. He should be able to catch a glimpse. Oh, he could have got the frag just a second too late to stop the plant though. And now Fox, Makaleli and Dennis ready themselves. They've got a pretty solid crossfire, and these pistols aren't doing too badly for Penta. Looks like it's going to be Fox to find a second. This could be a third, but he backs away as Dennis trades it out again. Looks like we find ourselves in a 3v1 as the AWP did get snatched away from Dennis as he just rattles off a double for him, double for Fox, and 12 now on the board for KINGUIN.
The importance of Dennis being able to make it to that site then as well. Otherwise, they could have maybe isolated it from the others, but nice play now coming out from KINGUIN. They're starting to look more confident, starting to really hit those shots, and this is where you just see that power. And Penta seem to be a little overwhelmed now. They finally got a decent enough buy going on the CT side that they could possibly stop KINGUIN. But if they don't get this, I feel we're going to see a very one-sided T side at least, but this is what they need. Strux and Crystal to open this thing up.
Yeah, and we kind of really were lacking Penta openers before this round, and that's a big, strong start. So KINGUIN have to forge something with 3.
And look at tabseN. He's going to get so much information just pushing up this far, hearing nothing, seeing no one. And he's going to be like, all right, Stavros, you better be careful. Crispy, you guys, they're not on long, basically. tabseN's already out, so now they should have a good idea, but Stavros is going to be peaked. But great work from Stavros. Gets the first towards Makaleli, backs it up. Now Ray makes the play to the right, but it is Scream to the left, and that is a rock and a hard place to pick between.
Yeah, that was really tough decision-making from him. Nice smokes that have been thrown out by the T side, going to make it very difficult to kind of push together. That group push is going to be slowed down by the smokes, and with the bomb down, you really have to kind of fight against the clock as well as Scream and Rain. Scream throwing out the remaining utility. They have 2 Molotovs as well. They can play the waiting game and just throw this onto the site if they choose to, but no, Rain looks to hold them busy at doors. Scream's going to throw his out as well towards the same position, not too sure, but he does get tagged down. And that's tabseN, relentless with his aggression. That's a double for Rain. It all comes down to one, but he finds it! Rain, 1 bullet and a frag, secures 13, and that shouldn't, but it did happen, and Rain just turns his nose up at Penta and says, this is our round.
Just crushed them. Absolutely crushed them. Any sort of confidence they had after that, just gone. You got to be so annoyed. Like, the spray on towards the second wasn't perfect, but the control to the third, that is astounding. But looking at this round, tabseN flashing himself in, just gets a face full of Scream's bullets into his face, and it's going very badly wrong. Penta seem a little sloppy now. They seem, you know, a little down in the dumps, and do you really blame them?
I certainly don't blame them. 5 rounds in a row so far for KINGUIN on that T side. They got the first 2, and that's pretty much all they've had to show for it so far. Now they are on the defensive. Makaleli does find another as Crystal and Stavros looking a little worse for wear. At least Crystal is 3 points of health and a FAMAS. I think he's going to be just happy to keep that one in his hands for now, as they back away, and KINGUIN nearing ever closer to that magic 16. Not sure if they're going to be hunting for this one. Pretty sure it should be a solid round from KINGUIN, just backing away and keeping this one safe. Oh, they want to kind of do the same as tabseN did, where he did manage to find those doubles, and they really want to kind of cripple the economy as best they can. There's no risk for them to go for the hunt, and they do. Dennis, that could be 2. It's not going to happen just yet. Crystal standing tall, rather. And he takes 2 with him. He only had 3 points of health. That didn't stop him picking up a double. And I think KINGUIN realized that once you've lost 2, it's good to just take the round and move on into the 24th.
So looking at this so far, KINGUIN's T side just substantially stronger than what Penta can withhold at the moment. They just don't seem to be able to take him at this sort of point. But then again, here it's 14-9. It's a respectable scoreline. But then, you know, if you take away that first half, it would look a lot more one-sided here. And look at the confidence. Rain, Smoke flashed himself out. He's just going in. He knows he's better than these guys. He's like, look, you can beat me. And actually, he gets a little punished for it. And there we go. Scream picks up the mantle. But we're seeing that the teams know what's happening here. We've got Strux, we've got Crispy getting close. But when KINGUIN get this confident, when they start making those plays, it's so hard to stop them.
Yeah, they do have that kind of plow nature to them, where once they set their sights on something, they are not going to stop until they get there. tabseN could get caught out by Scream's angle here. He's going to check the wrong one. Present his back to Scream, and Scream's going to nod his head and take tabseN's. That's going to be a 3 versus 4 now for the Dust2 side to try and forge something, but time still of the essence, and it feels terrifying, that's for certain. They know this is going to be the 15th, and I think they're going to make a decision. It has been made. The call has been made, and they're going to try and battle on that uphill struggle against 15. That's never easy.
No, you've got to feel for them in this one. And the thing is, though, you've got to look at it this way. Every single round, every single kill the KINGUIN are getting is getting them one step closer towards that major. And these guys are not messing around. They want this more than anything. And you can see the focus. You can see what they've got to come up against. And at the moment, Penta's their first target, their first bit of focus. And of course, as we're seeing, once they got on that T side, once they got that confidence with them, it's become a little bit of a one-sided show, but Crystal doing beautiful work with that scout. But outside of that, you just can't see them win these rounds. But listening to Killerfish, they're doing pretty good on the other side of things. Yeah, I mean, you cannot fault Crystal. Such a solid individual. You said it's a bit of a one-sided affair. I mean, for Penta, maybe. Michael has got himself into pit. Does give him the advantage to try and hunt out the scout of Crystal. I assume that's who it is. And you tell a lie, it was Strux trying to bait it out. Instead, though, Michael just readying himself, keeping himself well known as the remaining KINGUIN players. They're just going to play it quiet in mid. Molly going to force out one, I think. No, it's going to be tabseN. He's brought down to 60, but does find a safe haven on that car. And so much resting on this one for Penta. And just a very quick update, 5-9 in the other game. Killerfish leading that one against Flipside. So, they're ready for the execute, and that's a lot riding on Strux. He does have that escape route if he needs it, chooses to do so as he backs his way in, and Dennis catches Crystal on the entry. Strux quick to respond, but Scream doing what Scream does best. KINGUIN 2 frags away from their first round win. One step closer to qualifying for the major. Crispy does know Makalele's around, but Makalele finds his feet. And now Stavros, 22 seconds to do it. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening. 30 points of health now as the Molly did trickle that down. And only a FAMAS. This looks like it's all lost, and it most definitely is going to be difficult. But he started, found Scream, and now just 2 remain. Not going to happen. Makalele snatches it, shatters the dreams, and 16-9 is going to be the scoreline as KINGUIN show that they are not here to mess around, and they're taking this seriously. Yeah.